Did you skeet, Nicholas? Did you skeet today?
I sent a post on Blue Sky, which is apparently known as a skeet. If that's what you mean by that question, yes, that's what I have done that.
No, but I'm glad that you clarified. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, listeners of all ages, TLDR Studios proudly presents the greatest, and I mean the greatest, skeetiest podcasting team in the world. He is the world-acclaimed comic book writer, Nick Friar. I am your off and on friendly neighborhood backcracker, Dr. Joe, and together we are the TLDR Comic Book Club, baby. How's it going, Nicholas?
It's going great. I mean, this is an awesome week for books, Joe. We were just talking about it right before the bell rang, and we both read a dozen books this week, and we both have at least like 4 books that we didn't talk about. And there are 2 books that we got advanced looks at that also came out this week. So that's not counting towards the dozen that we each read. It is an insane week. It is a great time to be a comic book reader, and this week is a great example of that.
Yeah, I have to peep next week, because with it being Labor Day, but it's still like the slowdown. There's not going to be a slowdown, even though it's a holiday weekend coming up. This is the time of year where I think the publishers really start to ramp it up. We're past the dog days of summer. Everyone's getting back at school, getting back into routines, right? And it shows because boy, howdy, as you mentioned, was this a week for comic books?
Yeah, because that's a really good point. And we've talked about it before, just from in terms of our own planning, but then in terms of assessing, the flow of releases and everything, because over the summer, there's definitely been a lot more weeks where it's like, this is a light week in terms of number ones from like a Marvel and a DC, which is always kind of telling. And obviously this next month is a massive month for both Marvel and DC because we're going to be getting their crossover event is going to be kicking off in September. So we're going to be doing that solicit today. And a programming note, normally we have, whenever we do just a what's new, it's because we have a Friar side chat cooking. And look, who knows, something could pop up out of the blue. But because of the long weekend and everything that's coming up, we are just going to do what's new next week. No mainline episode, and we're doing the solicit a little bit early just to get ahead of things. So there's going to be a double-sized issue today because we're going to be doing 5 weeks that we're covering, including all the in-depth breakdowns that we're doing this week. But speaking of Fireside Chats, those are our conversations with creators across the industry. In case you're new to the program and aren't familiar, those are only found on our audio channel. So make sure if you're listening on YouTube or watching on YouTube or watching us on Instagram Live, subscribe there still, please. But also make sure you go subscribe to one of our audio channels because it's the only place you're going to hear us talk to Scott Snyder, Chip Zdarsky, Kyle Higgins, Tim Daniel, DB Andry, some names that you're going to hear
Benjamin Percy.
Yeah, some of the names that you're going to hear pop up throughout the course of this week's releases, along with Benjamin Percy's got a title that we've known about for about a year, is finally going to be hitting shelves in September. So we're very, very excited to talk about that and break down what's coming ahead. But we got a lot of what's new to get to, Joe. Nothing for you from catching up, right? I actually did catch up on a book, but it was for a potential Fireside Chat. It's you could probably take a guess at what it is. I don't want to tip the hand to anybody right now publicly, but I can tell you about it later.
Oh, okay. Well, that's good to know. I went to change my background here, Nicholas, because for some reason I just wanted to spice things up a little bit.
Oh, okay. I don't
it's
blame you.
A rare occasion where I created two backgrounds, and Violet helped me with this one. Let's see if it loads. It does. There we go.
Oh, that's always a pain in the ass. Yes.
Yeah.
Those watching
what? My shirt. People are getting a little peek behind the curtain here for those watching. Oh, that's distracting the fuck out of me. No,
the patterns are too complicated for
me. And you know what? It is, even for me and my love for wild patterns, it is a bridge too far. Okay, we're back, baby.
Yeah.
We're back, baby.
All right.
No, catching up. There is a massive graphic novel that I think I will have hopefully read by the time we get to our next main line. It's an old book, a bit of a cult classic that I am looking forward to reading. Just too many goddamn books this week. I didn't have a chance to read anything else, but yeah.
Okay, nice. Yeah, I'm actually, I don't know what that is that you're referring to, but I'm sure I'll find out at some point down the line. We got a lot of new releases to break down this week, Joe. why don't you kick us off with Marvel, please?
Holy smokes. Okay. Marvel. Woo! I just knocked out an 8%er. Let's see how this goes.
Oh boy.
Oh yeah. Delicious Treehouse. Their version of a transfusion. Strawberry basil. Absolutely delightful. From Marvel, we have X-Men 21, Miles Morales Spider-Man issue 37, The Avengers issue 29, The Incredible Hulk issue 28, Death of the Silver Surfer issue 3. This is one of the books I wanted to read, I just didn't get to because I had to read a dozen other books. Phoenix issue 14, Deadpool and Wolverine issue 8. That is a series I have wildly got to catch up on. And you're gonna hear a lot of this title, The Imperial War. So for Marvel this week, we have Dos Imperial Waros. We have Imperial War Planet She-Hulk issue 1 and Imperial War Black Panther issue 1. We have Emma Frost, the White Queen issue 3. West Coast Avengers, brah, issue 10. Jeff the Land Shack issue 3. One of my favorite books from this week, actually, The Thing issue 4. I love what Tony's doing with this this title. It's taking a character that I'm not like particularly fond of and made me very fond of. Spider-Verse versus Venomverse issue 4, Fantastic Four Fanfare issue 4, Doomed 2099 issue 1, Runaways issue 3, Bring on the Bad Guys Mephisto issue 1, and Bring on the Bad Guys Dormammu issue 1, Wolverine and Kitty Pryde issue 5, Predator Black, White, and Blood issue 2, Dr. Aphra Chaos Agent issue 3, X-Men Tooth and Claw issue 1. And if that's not enough, Nicholas, there's a number 1 you'd like to discuss.
Yes, there is a ton of stuff. I mean, look, Marvel puts out the most stuff, but my goodness, that is a crazy week for them. And all that said, we haven't even touched on the book, like you said, that I wanted to break down, written by Al Ewing with art by Pasquale Ferry, and that is The Mortal Thor issue 1. What?
I wanted to get to this one. This one looked awesome.
Yeah, and it absolutely delivered. I'm not calling dibs because I honestly thought you were going to check it out, but it was, wanted to give you that grace period and whatnot.
Be still my heart.
So this is the second act of Al Ewing's Thor story, the first being the Immortal Thor. In this story, we're seeing Sigurd, I'm definitely not getting it right, Sigurd Jarlson, got his last name right for sure, which is the name that Thor has actually taken on previously in Marvel Comics, except like this Thor, this Sigurd Jarlson doesn't seem like only seems to know himself as that. He's not like Thor pretending to be some other guy. Like as far as he knows,
got a Dick Rick Grayson situation going on,
right? Exactly. It's well, that was not a bad concept. The execution on that was poor. Well,
the whole Pam situation.
There like. The idea of that sort of thing happening is, yeah, sure, Pam. There you go. Yeah, exactly. Is saying Pam or is she Pow or Pa? I don't. Now we're getting our references mixed up. That's my bad. But so yeah, so in this case, he doesn't know who he is. As far as he knows, he's just Sigurd Jarlson. Kind of struggles with the English language. It seems like he's speaking some level of Nordic. I forget if it's like Swedish or Norwegian. But either way, this feels like it's going to be a lot about Thor moving through the world as just a man, which maybe will lead to his return to like God form at some point in the end of whenever this act comes to an end. Because again, this is Act 2 of Al Ewing's larger Thor story. And then I would assume in Act 3, we'll either see him back to prominence or like right on the cusp of becoming a god again.
I love that concept. It kind of like, I just get like Last Ronin vibes. Right.
Mm-hmm.
Like just trying to like figure out your way. Right. And rediscovering yourself and going through the shit. I mean, that sounds absolutely fantastic.
Yeah. And that's honestly, I'm not saying a whole hell of a lot about the first issue and everything I just said. Like I will say the action is brutal. This is going to be the most grounded that you've ever seen Thor. And that means his action is going to have a level less I don't know, I wouldn't call him flashy normally, but like there's like more of a effortlessness to his action normally because he's a god and so OP'd, Not the case here. A little bit different. Got to have a different vibe, which I think again kind of plays into what you're talking about, like just the appeal that's there.
Yeah.
All right, moving over to DC, we got Absolute Wonder Woman issue 11, which again continues to be absolutely outstanding. We love all the Absolute titles, but Wonder Woman does stand not head and shoulders, but it stands above the rest. You still feel that way, right?
So I little tease here, Nicholas. I'm right now. I am knee deep in the floppies and thinking about them and trying to keep track of everything. And I think I've already got um I've got a few categories locked down, and Absolute Wonder Woman may be one of those. Um, like unless something drastically changes between now and when we do the floppies, there might be an award for Absolute Wonder Woman.
Nice. Yeah, I mean, it makes sense. It's one of the best books going right now, not just at DC, but in all of comics, 100%. We got Absolute Martian Manhunter issue 6, which I believe there's going to be a break after this issue for the title. Superman issue 29, Justice League Unlimited issue 10, Green Lantern issue 26, Green Arrow issue 27, The Flash issue 24, Harley Quinn issue 53, Mr. Terrific Year 1 issue 4, Green Lantern Dark issue 6, Peacemaker presents the Vigilante Eagly double feature issue 5. And then, Joe, there is a book that you want to break down, but I do want to quickly say we've talked a ton about Immortal Legend Batman on the show. If you follow us on your socials, you're seeing all the videos that we put out. Obviously, we talked with Matt Groom and Kyle Higgins on the show about the series. The thing that if we haven't sold you enough on it, or if you've missed all of that to this point, the one thing that you need to know is the first 5 pages are absolutely going to suck you right in. And honestly, if they don't, something is wrong with you. And I also want to add to the world building, which we've talked about quite a bit in this issue, is the richest I've ever seen from a single issue of a big 2 book. And that's not even talking at all about Erica D'Ursula's art and Dan Mora's art that we see in the backups as well. Great action, fun toku spin. Immortal Legend Batman, we've said it a ton, but if you're not picking this up this week, you are sorely missing out.
Yeah, we've had a ton of traction on this with the socials, right? And a lot of interaction, from people who, you're very, very interested in it. And it's so hard to not like spoil anything because you just want to like talk to them about it, right? And every time someone asks a question about it and replying, I have, been keeping it like very vague and just, praising how kick ass it is, right? And I get a little leery of that sometimes because this shit's subjective and you just never know, right? And so when you pump something up so high, can it deliver? And in this case, it absolutely does. Like can't stress that enough. It's just I've been very excited chatting about this book with people and chatting about it on here that I can't wait that finally I'm excited that people can finally read it.
Yeah.
So yeah,
and get a physical copy in our hands, man. Like I've been dying for that too. We've been waiting to see this in physical form longer than most.
Yeah.
It's
we're the first ones to read it. Period, Nicholas.
Yeah, I know it's pretty crazy. Us and the Batman group editor. That's
yes.
When I found that out, I was like, Jesus.
Yeah.
Thanks, guys.
Very trusting. Very trusting. We didn't.
Well,
spoil shit, by the way.
Yes, we didn't. No, we have very much earned it. 100%. Look at you. I'm proud of you. Try not to do that when you talk about Robin and Batman, Jason Todd issue 3.
I can't. Holy shit. Holy shit. Written by Jeff Lemire and art by Dustin Wynn. Beautiful, gorgeous, like absolutely breathtaking art by Dustin Wynn. These two work so well together because their styles are very similar. It's watercolory. It's a little sketchy. Just the colors that Dustin uses, the way like you can see the watercolor texture paper for Pete's sake, right? So there's just something very something ethereal about it that I absolutely love. And right from the first issue, right? Like Jeff, he really takes you to that dark side of Jason Todd, even as a youth. And what I loved about this issue in particular is that there was a lot of dialogue between Alfred and Bruce about failing Jason, right? Is Jason a lost cause, right? Do they have to give up on Jason? Do they have to finally admit that maybe, we fucked up? Did I do the right thing? Am I doing these kids a disservice by taking them in as Robins? And so
Nah, of course not.
it's a very poignant issue, and there's in real typical Jeff Lemire fashion, he gets right to the core um, of it emotionally, and just the full circle that Jason Todd, that he takes his character through these three issues, and this is the finale, is really something else, and he really takes Jason to the edge, and I loved it, and I absolutely loved it, and I can't talk about Dustin's art enough, right? It was really perfect. This team writing these books is absolutely top notch. So if you haven't read, Batman and Robin and Batman, Jason Todd, when the trade comes out, get it. They tend to be slower with DC. But if you can go find the back issues, I highly recommend doing it. This is like if you're a Batman fan, a Jason Todd fan, a Red Hood fan, like it's just a really beautiful origin story for Red Hood, because you see it. You see
Mhm.
everything that makes Jason Todd in this short little series.
I am behind on this one. Very excited to check out issues 2 and 3. What I'm most taken by in all this is you've talked about Dustin Nguyen's art quite a bit, and it just you really it's funny because you love like like one of my favorite artists in comics is Sean Murphy, and when I think of like gritty art style, like he's the first person I generally think of. Abel's obviously got a very similar art style as well, but I know you love gritty art. We've talked about that plenty of times. You really like when watercolor is done well, though, don't you?
I do, because it's there's something very
I like that.
unrefined about it,
Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
right?
Okay.
Right? Because
Mm,
what Lemire does well, and what Dustin Wynn does well, and others that dabble with watercolor is, right. You've got the line work, which gives you the definition, but there's a sketchiness, there's a rawness with it, right? But
yep.
then you add the watercolor and just how it kind of bleeds, and it's unrefined, but it pairs so well, and it's just, I don't know, it's a very beautiful um art medium, and it is not something you typically see in comics, right?
No.
We saw it with Bear Pirate Viking Queen, right?
Yeah.
That was very visceral, the way that was done. That was like the first time where I've looked at watercolor and been like, that really
Yeah.
creates some violence,
Yeah,
in it.
that was one of the crazy. Jonathan Marks Barvecchia was the
Yeah.
artist on that with Sean Lewis. And that's one of the. I was looking at my trade on my shelf. That's one of the craziest ones we've ever
Mm,
seen. But yeah, that's what. So that's what it is. It's like there's a unrefined or rawness to it, and
yeah.
that's what speaks to you. But though, like there's the sketchiness, and then there's the watercolors. And I don't know if they're on opposite ends of the spectrum, but they're certainly on different parts of that
Yeah.
like that. That's
Yeah.
interesting. I was wondering why, because I mean, I like it. Don't get me wrong, and I love, especially in Bear Power Viking Queen, I love it. But it's like you really are taken by this, and I appreciate you elaborating on that because I've been
'Cause
wondering
that's
why
that's
that.
that's not easy. Watercolor is not easy,
No,
right?
I mean I remember
You
learning
know?
it as a kid, and it's like that's brutal.
And to be
It's
able to pull it off like that, and like I said, it's unrefined, but still, like, I mean, you know exactly what you're right? It's a little hard to articulate there, but it's beautiful. I absolutely love it.
yeah,
I
no, I
I I
thought you
think it's
explained
why,
it very well.
I'm a big, I love, the Impressionists, the French Impressionists, right?
Mm,
And that style, right? And again, there's a detail there, but it's also very unrefined, right? I don't know.
mm.
And maybe it's a color palette thing too. It's just something about it I absolutely love.
Speaking of all that, I've been rereading Die with obviously it
Oh
coming
yeah,
back,
I got to do
and
that.
like
Yeah,
Stephanie Hans. Oh my god, dude,
yeah,
it's so good. Her art is just.
yeah. Next level.
All right. Speaking of
Next
that,
level.
let's get to Image. We got a couple Skybound books as well this week. What do you got for me?
Okay, we have Void Rivals, issue 22. We are getting ever so close to like a void, like we're there between Void Rivals, Transformers, and GI Joe, all really sort of coming to a nexus point with each other. We have Void Rivals issue 22, Geiger issue 17, Monstress issue 59, The Scorched, issue 54 or 44. Sorry. Universal Monsters, The Invisible Man, issue 1. We didn't get this review copy, but I'm assuming because it's Image Skybound that maybe they withheld it. You had to specially request it.
Yeah.
We're taking everyone down with us. Issue 5. Holy smokes, Nicholas, was this issue
Yeah.
awesome?
Yeah, it was
Awesome.
absolute pandemonium. There's a level of pandemonium, but then there's also like this level of like slow building tension. Like there's two different
Ooh.
things going on, and it's
Yeah.
like, ooh,
Yeah.
yeah, yep,
Yeah.
hmm
Yeah. Little weird makeup sex too.
That
Say
threw
the
me.
least.
I was
That
like,
threw me too.
okay.
Another chaotic book. News from the Fallout, issue 3. Wild. And I
Yeah,
love the art in this. It is different, man, and it is fantastic. Talk about unrefined.
yeah,
Right.
it's chilling stuff.
Yeah, it
With the
really is.
right kind of music too. Like I haven't tried that yet, but the right kind of music that could really elevate this experience
Oh,
even more.
100%.
Ooh,
100%. Rat City, issue 17. Lost Fantasy, issue 4. You'll Do Bad Things, issue 6. Stay Out of the Woods, issue 1. Why didn't I read that one?
I didn't see that in our review copies, and this one's
Yeah.
gotten delayed before, so I'm not sure.
Yeah, we're gonna put a pin in that one.
Yep.
Because it's like, why I would have read that. So yeah, we didn't.
Yes,
Didn't
we've both been ready to check that thing out. So
Mm-hmm.
yeah.
Hornsby and Halo, issue 9. Kaya, issue 29. Dust to Dust. That's a book I know you had started, Nicholas. Issue 6.
I gotta catch up.
Lazarus Fallen, issue 3. The Voice Said Kill, issue 2. Ho, ho, ho.
Yep.
Yeah, that was a good one. That was a real fucking good one.
Talk about some weird relationships. There's
Oh,
this
daddy.
one, I'm like,
oh Jesus.
I'm like, what is going on here? Like, I'm confused, and I hope
I hope that's just a weird nickname. Sleep, issue 4. Genna, Naked Aggression, issue 3. Young Blood, issue 2. The Man Who Dreamt the Impossible, a tribute to Jack Kirby, issue 1.
Then from Boom, we got Minor Arcana, issue 10, the Jeff Lemire joint. Dune, Edge of the Chris Knife, Rage of Shai Halud, issue 1. VR Troopers, Power Rangers Flipbook, Facsimile Edition, issue 1. And then we got a pair of books that we're both reading, that we've both read, that we want to discuss. Joe, would you like to lead us off?
I will. Let's see. Here we go. So this was the penultimate, or not the penultimate. This was the finale.
Yeah. Did you know that going in?
Yeah. The finale of The Last Boy, issue 5. And this is let's see, Dan Panosian and Valentine Pinto and Alessio Avallone. I mean, I've loved this series from the get-go, and this was a book that I was very much looking forward to. This is a book that is considered for a few awards for the floppies for me. And something hit me this issue, Nicholas, that I'm kicking myself for not seeing from the get-go. Did you read it? Did you read the book?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Are you talking about like the development with that?
The main antagonist. I should have seen that. I was like, oh, it was one of those moments where I go, oh, Jesus, Joseph, why? It was right there. It was right there in your face. But I love that. That's what I love about this book, because it made so much, like when you get that reveal, you go, oh. But you want to talk about poignant, right? And Dan Panosian, like, I didn't read his Alice in Wonderland books there. What were they? What were the title of those books he wrote?
Alice Ever After and Alice Never After.
Yeah.
I think there's one more coming.
But I've read some of his other books. But to me, this one, The Last Boy, was very, very introspective, right? And I think we talked about this in the last issue. It was the Wendy stuff, right? Like the stuff that you have with Peter, right, in Neverland, and the pirates and Tiger Lily, and the Shadow King and all of that, right? Like that stuff was all awesome. And it was really engaging, and you had some really great action sequences, right? But there's been something about the Wendy storyline throughout that just really kind of, I think, pulls, on you emotionally. And in the last issue, the death of her father and the pressures of getting married, and all she wants to do is live in her own world, write her book, tell her stories. Like that's her passion, right? And the development with her that happens in this issue, and the way that it ends for both Peter and Wendy, it blew me away. This book was an absolute home run. and this issue like was really, really fucking good.
Yeah, it was. It was. And so the note where you're like, you should have seen it coming. I didn't see that, but there was I was like in that ballpark of like, this is this is kind of what's going on here.
I literally slapped myself in the head, and Violet said, "What are you doing?" And I go, "You donut." It was right there, and it was right there, and I can picture the scene from the movie. And I'm like, "Oh, god damn it!"
Oh, you know what? Okay, that's that. Wow, good point.
Yeah, right?
Okay, so that's what I was in the ballpark, not for, like, having completely forgotten that. Okay, wow, good point.
Yeah.
Good point. Okay, yeah. Well, people are gonna enjoy checking that one out. But the book I wanted to talk about a little bit more in detail was "Be Not Afraid," issue 3. Jude Ellison S. Doyle and Lissandro Esrin. Joe, this is how I felt, at least. The turn the story takes in this issue was almost too good. Like, there's been so much spotlight on what's wrong with the son, Jordy. Very much warranted. Like, the kid is a real piece of work. Yeah.
Real. See you next Tuesday.
Like, there's also been breadcrumbs with the mother's choices that we've kind of seen in prior issues. And this issue makes me question a lot of what we've seen from her so far. And like, now I can't help but wonder, with this story on the whole, is it all just a matter of perception? Like, is Jordy's bad, but is he as bad as we think, or is it more like kind of even because of how, stuff that's been going on with the mother? I was blown away by that spin that we got in this issue, and I absolutely love it. This is like, I don't feel like I see a lot. I see all these other books that we're talking about in varying capacities get buzz on social. This is the one that I feel like, when you talk about like most underrated book, I think it's the Hawkeye Award that we have. That this is in that conversation, and this might be at the top of that pile for me, because I just feel like, I don't know, I listen to other shows, I watch other stuff. Like, I don't feel like I'm seeing anybody else talk about Be Not Afraid. Certainly not as much as we are.
This is on my short list for both best new horror series, and
Of course, yeah.
it's on my short list for the Hawkeye Award. Right now, I've also got, I was a high school or I was a fashion school serial killer, also in both of those, short lists on both of those categories.
Right. Yeah.
Right.
No, I agree. Yeah, that was
this is a tough category, because you've got the Pale Knight, right? You've got all these books that have just sort of like out of Alcatraz, right? There's a lot of books that, like, I had no idea, didn't hear a stitch about them, read them, and instantly fell in love, right? And for various reasons, right? And Be Not Afraid is one of those books where it's like, I had no buzz going into it. I don't know if we highlighted it on a solicit, or if it was like a month that we didn't do a solicit. It wasn't anywhere on my radar. And I think we both read this and we both went, holy shit.
Yeah, because we don't get, like, with Mad Cave, we get like crazy advanced review copies. The Image, sometimes we do that. We don't generally get that with Boom unless we know somebody. So we we had no clue. Like, there wasn't any. Like, this one really has blown me away. Like, the more we talk about it, the more it's like, I don't. It could win for best horror, but I feel like as Fashion School Serial Killer is at the top of that conversation for me. This is more.
Wait till you read Slash's Apprentice.
But this is more. This is more like, this is less talked about. Like, I was a Fashion School Serial Killer. Got like I think it got a second printing for the first issue. I think.
Oh, let's go.
So, but I don't know that this did necessarily. It doesn't mean it didn't. But yeah, I don't know. I just feel like we've seen more, but I'm not sure. Either way, yes, this is the best book that nobody's talking about. I feel like
I've learned it all from watching you.
Yeah, that's why. Well, yeah, that's what we're here for. But yeah, so two outstanding books from Boom this week. But I will say, Joe, I think my favorite book of the week came from Dark Horse. Why don't you take us through them?
So from Dark Horse, we have Nemesis Forever, issue 1. Huck, Big Bad World, issue 4. Star Wars Hyperspace Stories Codebreaker, issue 3. I almost said Hillbilly. Hellboy and the BRPD Professor Harvey is Gone, issue 1. The Oddly Pedestrian Life of Christopher Christopher Chaos and a whole bunch of cube dice in the
Mm.
Children of the Night issue 3. But the book, Nicholas, that we have talked about, a book that we have been anticipating, a book that we talked with Zach Kaplan about towards the end of our last chat with him, Masterminds issue 1.
Yes. Stephen Thompson is the artist on this series, who is one of the artists for the Midnight Shadows book that Zach did with the Midnight, and Masterminds issue 1. When we heard about this concept from Zach, we didn't get advanced review copies from him. But when we heard about the concept, we're like, oh my God, dude, this sounds awesome. The art looks great. The logo for this series looks outstanding. So we've been dying to check this thing out. You already thought we read it.
Because we talked about it. So in my head, I go, oh, yeah, we talked to Zach about this. Yeah, because I remember the premise of it, right? And him describing it. And we actually had a pretty good conversation about it without having read it.
Yeah.
But in my head, I had read it. So I was like, oh, okay. Yeah. Well, this guy. Nope, gotta go fucking read it.
Yeah, you're going to be upset that you weren't able to talk about this once you read it. It is, okay. Masterminds issue 1 is a perfect series opening issue. Zach Kaplan, our reigning writer of the year, delivered with this first issue. I very much understand the main character, and I understand his pain. We get enough of the larger game that's at play, but not too much, just the right amount. And then there's also a commentary that we're getting on the gaming industry that's mixed in, and it hits so hard. And as someone who, I like video games a lot, but I've definitely distanced myself, probably because I don't have very good self-control when it comes to video games. But like, it hits hard because I understand that. Also, I think with comics and video games, you see a lot of commentary like kind of crossing over. People are interested in the same stuff. But I also feel like that, and it's kind of talked about in the start of this issue, where like the gaming industry, of all like the creative jobs that are out there, it's the one that's been hit the hardest, like on the creative side, by the business side of it. But I also think that all translates to different stuff that's happening in the creative space. The creative space always kind of deals with some capacity, but I think recently with different developments, everyone's kind of under fire. So I loved every single panel from this issue. Was perfect. It reads really fast, but also it's very rich, and you want to pace yourself in all of it. If you like the skull and bones type of conspiracy stories, just like that alone, check out Masterminds. I loved this first issue.
It's full of culture and rich history. Why do you sing all those sad, depressing songs? I got it. I'm so mad that I was just like, oh, you fucking dunderhead. All right. So from here, let me do this. I'm gonna rip off Oni, AWA, IDW, and then we'll finish with Matt Cave, and then we'll get into the actual solicit. So from Oni, this I wasn't expecting. The finale to Benjamin, issue 3. I didn't realize it was only 3 issues. Wild miniseries. Wild ending. Didn't see it coming.
Will you be able to do it on the show?
I don't know. It's tough. I gotta think about that.
Yeah,
3 issues is tough.
I've only done it once personally. I think I did it for Bloodrick, but that was oversized. So, anyways,
yeah. But that was wild. Biker Mice from Mars, issue 3. Dark Regards, issue 3. The Sixth Gun, Battle for the Six, issue 2. From AWA, we have Entanglement, issue 1. From IDW, we have Beneath the Trees Where Nobody Sees, Rite of Spring, issue 2. I did buy one digitally. Newbury Comics did not have a physical copy, so I do have it digitally. Got to read that. We have TMNT Shredder, issue 1. TMNT Saturday Morning Adventures, issue 28. Star Trek Strange New Worlds, The Seeds of Salvation, issue 1. And then from Mad Cave, what a fucking week. We have Gotchaman, Joe Bloodlines, issue 1. Vanishing Point, issue 4. That is the anthology series written by Mark Russell with a different artist on each issue. That was another one I didn't get to read that I wanted to. We have Blue Palo Verde, issue 3, which is another series I'm enjoying. That was the other book I didn't get to read this week because we got a review copy. Well, we got a review copy from Matt Cave late. A book that we have discussed a lot about and cannot praise enough. A book that we both love. A book where we had DB, Andrew, and Tim Daniel on to discuss. That's Red Vector, issue 1.
We didn't have
this book
on.
is Yes, we
They
did.
were on. They didn't come on to talk about Red Vector.
We had them on. No, you're right. We didn't talk about Red Vector.
Yeah,
Well,
Crush Depth was the last time we talked to them. I've been clocking that just as we've done different stuff because
you're right. You're right.
we want to have all the people
So
that
I
we've
can't.
enjoyed
Did we?
talking to.
I thought we talked about it at the end, but that might have been
No,
off air stuff.
that was definitely off air.
Yeah,
But like
okay.
it's tough because like I wanted to talk to them about it, but just different scheduling stuff with us trying to balance things. Because we have talked about it a lot, but like I can't adequately express enough. Like I am so excited for the second issue of this series after reading the first one because we get all this stuff with these intergalactic characters involved in the intergalactic war, and then at the very end of the issue, everything gets spun on its head for setting up for like an insane not just issue 2, but the entire thing. I just can't. Oh, I can't wait for more.
I mean, we've I've all well, I know I have retweeting their stuff a ton, so I know like we had them on to talk Crush Depth. We love Tim. We love DB. Yes. Read this book, folks. Go effing pick it up. But a book, The Pale Knight, issue 4. Again, another fucking excellent book, right? Loved it. But a book that I want to discuss real quick is Speed Racer, issue 2, right? Written by David Pepos with art by David Tinto, colors by Rex Locus, and letters by Bobby Bowden. And say that 10 times fast. And man, talk about like Dynamite's absolutely. I mean, Mad Cave has absolutely crushed it with some of these titles and characters that I didn't grow up with, or like I wasn't old enough to appreciate them at the time. Like, a line I like to say is, you could have asked me a year ago, 5 years ago, you'd be reading it and tell me you'd be reading a Speed Racer book. I said, no, I won't be. I love it. And it's awesome, right? And that's in big part to David Pepos. He's an excellent writer, and he's really taken these characters that I don't really know much about. I don't have really much of anything invested in, and now I'm fully invested, right? We get this really great gut wrenching second issue where Speed's got a race to save his dad, right? And so you've got heart, you've got emotion, but you've also there's a lot of sinister players at play. And I love Speed because he's a character that you can tell has a tremendous amount of heart, but he's also got a bit of sap in him. There's a little arrogance in there. There's a little don't f with me, because I will kick your teeth down your throat if I have to. And I love that. So there's a grittiness to the character, because in my mind, I just kind of think of like the old Speed Racer that is just kind of silly. And that's not the case here. We have a really engaging story. We have really engaging characters. We got some great action scenes. I mean, Tinto's ability to draw racing scenes is outstanding. Like, you feel the speed, right?
Oh my
You feel it,
yeah.
right? And some of those designs on those cars and their weapons was excellent. So, love Speed Racer, love Mad Cave, love David Pepos, love everyone involved with Speed Racer. This is a book that, like, if you're like me and Speed Racer was never your thing, you read these 2 issues, you'll 100% change your mind.
What's most impressive to me, because everything you're talking about, I couldn't agree with more. In the art, like the motion that Tinto is creating is outstanding. But what I kind of can't believe through these first 2 issues is the tension that's being created, because this is an old school, cartoon and everything, where it's like, back in the day where everything always works out well by the end of the issue. And while stuff has been working out in some capacities, there's a lot of stuff that's not working out. And that's causing me to to think like, is this going to work out? Is that going to work out? Like, I don't know. There's so much doubt. And to have that happening with like a legacy type character, like story, to me, that's something I don't always expect to be happening in a legacy character story. So I've been really impressed by that, both on Tinto's part and Pepos' part.
Yeah. Excellent stuff. So, awesome.
All right, let's get into the books that are coming out throughout the month of September. We got 4 Wednesdays to break down. Just from an overview standpoint, or I don't know, zoomed out
bird's eye view.
Yeah, bird's eye view. That's what I wanted. Thank you. It's a good month. Like there's quite a few promising first issues that Joe and I are going to touch upon. But we don't want to get ahead of ourselves. Let's just get started with Marvel as we do.
Okay, from Marvel, the week of September 3rd, 2025. My daughter still won't be in school yet. Jesus Christ.
Really?
4th. She was back on the 4th.
Oh, okay, okay. Oh, okay.
Yeah. They get the
That's
whole
what
summer
I
off.
think
They need 2
that
extra days. Come on.
I
Get out
think
of here.
that's what I had too. I feel like that sounds right. Maybe Wednesdays. I don't know. Anyways, moving on.
Yeah. Anyways, love my daughter. Mean it. She needs to go back to school. From Marvel Comics, we have Ultimate X-Men issue 19, Uncanny X-Men issue 20, The Amazing Spider-Man issue 11, Wolverine issue 13, The Avengers issue 30, Magic issue 9, Moon Knight Fist of Khonshu issue 12, All New Venom issue 10, Laura Kinney Wolverine issue 10, Legacy of Ada issue 8, Gwenpool issue 5, Doctor Strange issue 450, and a slew of number ones. We have Spider Man 94, issue 1, written by J.M. Matisse with art by Jim Tao. We have Imperial War Exiles, issue 1, Jonathan Hickman, Steve Fox, art by Francesco Mana and David Tinto, the aforementioned David Tinto. We have It's Jeff and Other Marvel Tales, issue 1, written by Kelly Thompson and Gruhiro.
Gruhier?
I think I
Yeah,
kind of nailed that.
that was
Gruhiro?
pretty. That was
I think I
good.
kind of nailed it.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's A plus stuff for me, if we're being honest. Star Wars
I
Han
do say so
Solo
myself.
Hunt for the Falcon, issue 1, written by good friend of the show, Rodney Barnes, with art by Roman. Don't misspell his last name, Rosanis.
Jeez, you don't want. I think Rodney's got an Oni book. I think that's coming out in November.
Ooh.
That we may.
I
We
need
haven't.
Philadelphia.
Yeah, well, that'd
In
be
a
a time
minute.
to ask him about that. I don't know.
In a minute.
Yeah, it's almost. Yeah, I don't know. But anyways, we have to talk about that Oni book. All right, moving over to DC for the week of the 3rd. We got Absolute Superman issue 11, Absolute Green Lantern issue 6, Batgirl issue 11, Poison Ivy issue 36, Birds of Prey issue 25, Justice Society of America issue 11, Justice League versus Godzilla versus Kong issue 4. I think that's volume 2. Resurrection Man Quantum Karma issue 6. Cheetah and Cheshire rob the Justice League issue 2. And then we got a pair of number ones that are real showstoppers. So Batman getting renumbered to issue 1 after Chip Zdarsky's run came to an end. We have Matt Fraction who is taking over, and Jorge Jimenez is back to doing the art on Batman as well. So obviously a big deal there. Going to be checking that one out. But then the one that I'm a little more excited about, Joe, and I may or may not have already taken a little look at this because we have that access. This is written by Philip Kennedy Johnson with art by Scott Godlewski, Adventures of Superman, The Book of L, issue 1. And I saw Philip Kennedy Johnson put out a video kind of promoting this series. And it's like everything that he's done at DC, not just all of his Superman stuff, and he's done a ton of Superman stuff, is leading up to this. And it's like this big epic that he's doing. I'm going to read the synopsis real quick. As the super
Sure about
family,
that?
Sure about what?
Sure about that? You sure you want to read it? You sure about that?
Yes.
You sure about that?
As the super family settles into a well-earned time of peace, a powerful ally turned enemy invades Earth with an army at his back and a god aspect of Ulgrin, mad god of the first world. When even the super family lacks the power to stop him, Superman is sent against his will to a place even he's never been, where he'll find allies he could never have expected. Concludes the events of Future State and Philip Kennedy Johnson's Action Comics. The next epic adventure begins here. So we already checked this one out, and it gets the at least gets my stamp of approval. I don't know if you checked that out.
It was excellent. It was excellent. And I've got to go back, and I picked up a trade, a Superman trade that I think would just precedes this, and then I've already gone on Hoopla and downloaded the War World stuff.
Nice.
So I want to go through and just like I read this issue, it's excellent, and this was part of also, I was thinking earlier about catching up, like going back and rereading some stuff. Like,
Yeah,
I think I want to plow through all of that.
yeah,
Right.
definitely.
And then have that carry and, have that done by the second issue of this comes out.
I like that.
Because I've talked about Philip Kennedy Johnson a bunch.
Mhm.
I love his writing, and then when we had the chance to meet him at Boston Fan Expo, and he's just really cool guy, down to earth guy, and very fascinating guy. So, uh, his love of Superman, I think, rivals that of my own, and like I loved it. This was absolutely fantastic. And you can tell he's very excited about this book.
Two things. He's also got his second act of all his Hulk stuff coming up too in November. Interested in that, but also you got to read Hell Hunters. It's a 5-issue series. It's getting collected right now.
I
He wrote
think
it.
I have.
Go ahead.
I think I went through and I grabbed a bunch of Philip Kennedy Johnson's books and favorited them on Hoopla to go and reread.
You have the review copies for Hell Hunters. That's like that book just
Yes.
finished up. So I remember saying this is a Joe book. So like I'm regretting it now because I want to read that shit so bad. So read that thing. It's like 5 issues. I'm very curious because he talked to us about it and I was like, God, why did I give this to Joe? Like, why did I do that? All right. Anyways, moving on.
We do have that book. Is it?
We have it. I'll find it for you.
I got it. Yeah. Okay. Go.
Good. So we got Image and obviously the Skybound releases up next for the week of the 3rd. I'll take us through that while you're sorting through those things.
Okay.
The Walking Dead Deluxe issue 120, G.I. Joe, A Real American Hero issue 320, Phantom Road issue 15, The Rockefellers issue 8, Sisterhood, A Hyde Street Story issue 3, Sam and Twitch Case Files issue 17, The Tin Can Society issue 8, I Tyrant issue 2, and then we got a few number ones here. Closer issue 1, or Closer, I'm not sure. I've heard it both ways. Issue 1 by Kieran Gillen and Steve Lieber. This was originally in the Image anthology series from a while back. That was from issue 7 to 9. But obviously Kieran Gillen, got to be checking that out. And then Artificial issue 1 by Maria Lovett, who Joe has talked about on the show quite a bit. And then also Everything Dead and Dying issue 1 by Tate Bromble and Jacob Phillips. And this is like basically you know what? I'm going to read this really fast. This story follows Jack Chandler, the sole survivor of the zombie apocalypse, hunkered down in his rural farming community. But rather than eliminate them, Jack has chosen to continue living alongside the undead, including the husband and adopted daughter he fought so hard to have. But when his town is discovered by outsiders, Jack suddenly becomes the one thing standing in the way of those who hope to kill his family for good. This to me sounds like you're stumbling on like Herschel's farm in The Walking Dead, but he's like by himself, isolated, and probably going to be a lot more aggressive. And he was, he was pretty rougher. He's rougher in the comics than he was in the show. So I think this has a lot of potential to be like kind of spinning The Walking Dead on its head in some way. So I'm very excited to check out Everything Dead and Dying issue 1.
Oh yeah, that's a TLDR book, baby.
100%. All right, why don't you take us to the next couple?
Okay, all right. So from Boom Studios, we have Garth Ennis's The War issue 2. From Dark Horse, we have FML issue 6, The Witcher, The Bear and the Butterfly issue 3. I can't wait. Like I know this book has been coming out every other month.
Yeah,
I can't wait for this issue. This is written, of course, by Cy Spurrier. Ghostbusters, Dead Man's Chest issue 4. This has been a fun series.
Yeah, you said that.
It's just like if you're Ghostbusters, it's just a good fun. If you've got like nieces or nephews, that love Ghostbusters, it's a good series to give them. Texarkanum issue 2, Stranger Things, Tales from Hawkins 2 issue 3, Tramps of the Apocalypse issue 3, and then we have The Adventures of Lumen N issue 1, written by James Robinson, with art by Phil Hester. And I'll take us through Mad Cave as well.
Cool.
We have Flash Gordon issue 11. Again, another character that was before my time, didn't grow up with, had zero interest in. Absolutely love this series. Look into my eyes, you will see. Look into my eyes, issue 2, and Bitchcraft issue 3.
From Oni, we got Adventure Time issue 5, Cruel Universe issue 3, and then we got Adventure Time, the Bubline College Special issue 1 by Caroline Cash, and Skin Police 2 issue 1 by Jordan Thomas and Daniel Gett. I'll do these next couple, Joe. Charlemagne the God presents Illuminati issue 3 is the only thing coming out from AWA the week of the 3rd. From Distillery, we got White House Robot Romance issue 1 by Chip Zdarsky and Rachel Stott. From Titan, we got Savage Sword of Conan issue 10 and Return to Skull Island issue 3. And then from Dynamite, we have Captain Planet and the Planeteers issue 4, Thundercats Lost issue 6, Silverhawks issue 7, and Gargoyles Demona issue 3, and Thundercats Powerpuff Girls issue 3. Bringing us to the second week of September, Joe. What do you got for me?
So for September 10th, 2025, the year of our year, we have
from now on. That's all I want.
I didn't want to offend the, you know what I mean.
You've been saying it for years now.
I know.
But that's all I want now. That's all I want from now.
We mature, Nicholas. We mature. I don't want to single anyone else. From Marvel, sir, we have Ultimate Wolverine issue 9, Ultimate Spider-Man Incursion issue 4. At some point, we're supposed to get Ultimate Spider-Man. It was listed for what's new the week of August 27th, but we didn't get a review copy. Marvel's usually pretty good, so I think there might have been an issue with League of Comic Geeks. So I say this as a nebulous statement, just sort of be out whatever week it is for Ultimate Spider-Man. We have One World Under Doom issue 7, Captain America issue 3 by Chip Zdarsky, Exceptional X-Men issue 13, Eddie Brock Carnage issue 8, Wolverine issue 10, Red Hulk issue 8, Jedi Knights issue 7, Spider-Verse vs. Venomverse issue 5, Superior Avengers issue 6, Wolverine and Deadpool issue 3. But I think the book of the week is going to be from Marvel. But first we have Edge of Venomverse issue 1, written by Clay McLeod Chapman and Jason Holtham, with art by Philip Seavey. We have the Undead Iron Fist issue 1, written by Jason Liu, with art by Frank Galen.
Ooh.
We have X-Men of Apocalypse Alpha issue 1, written by Jeff Loeb and Simone DeMeo. Imperial War Nova Centurion issue 1, written by Jonathan Hickman and Jed McKay, with art by Matteo Della Fonte.
Oh yeah.
But Nicholas,
yeah,
Punisher Red Band issue 1, Benjamin Percy, Julius Oda. Frank is back again. Frank is back. I don't want the algorithms to not post this video because I sang a song like that. Frank is back. Reread and reloaded, true believers. Frank Castle is back. With no memories, a full clip, and a thirst for wrathful vengeance, his violent search for answers could only be chronicled in a Red Band series. We already know what Percy is capable of doing, not having a Red Band series.
Yeah.
Right? This book's going to fucking slap. Bullets will fly, blood will flow. The citizens and criminals of New York City alike will fear the name Punisher.
Yeah. You're right. Like, because I honestly didn't think about it in that sense, because it was like, Benjamin Percy doesn't need Red Band with Marvel stuff. Like, he has the adult warning all the time, and even then he always finds a way to push the envelope with this stuff. But it's true. Like, if this has Red Band and all, we've had a few single issues that like were, parental warning and stuff with Wolverine and the Sabretooth War, and then his Ghost Rider stuff. Like, I don't think we've gotten for him parental warnings elsewhere. But again, like, we're not seeing that with anybody else.
Right.
He's doing a lot to like cement himself in like this era of Marvel as like the one who pushed the envelope the most in terms of like maturity and action that his artists are able to bring to the page. I'm blown away and beyond impressed. And I can't look, I feel like I do a pretty good job of, even if I have high expectations, not letting them get in my way when it comes to stories, whether it's comics, movies, or whatever. But I wouldn't blame anybody for having sky high expectations going into this Punisher series, just because like he's got Wolverine and Red Hulk. We've been enjoying that series. He absolutely crushed it with Ghost Rider. He did such an amazing job with Wolverine. 50 issues, insane. Like, dude, he's done so much, and now he's going to do Punisher, and he's going to have a red band, and he's doing all the Predator stuff. Like, how do you not have sky high expectations going into the series, especially with that red band tag attached to it?
Yeah, I am super stoked. For this series. It's going to be excellent.
Yeah, moving over to DC, we got Absolute Batman issue 12, Action Comics 1090, Batman and Robin issue 25, Batman Dark Patterns issue 10, Supergirl issue 15, Green Lantern Corps issue 8, Superman the Kryptonite Spectrum issue 2, Aquaman issue 9. The Kryptonite Spectrum, that's the one by the Ice Cream Man team.
Ice Cream Man. Yep.
Yeah, okay. Sorry,
Yep.
my apologies. Ice Cream Man. Aquaman issue 9, Batman Gotham by Gaslight, A League for Justice issue 3, Trinity Daughter of Wonder Woman issue 4, Fire and Ice When Hell Freezes Over issue 6, and then Joe, we have the return. The prodigal son has returned. Red Hood issue 1, Gretchen Faulkner Martin and Jeffrey Spokes. I'm not familiar with this creative team, but I am still. We know Red Hood's in the mix. We know that Huntress is also going to be in the mix as well. We've seen her with a lot of the promotional art. I don't know if that's the entire series for her or just for the first arc, but man, I'm very excited to check out Jason Todd in Red Hood form. And in this, like the first line is Jason Todd has left Gotham and Batman behind him. Instantly, I'm like, okay, so we have a chance to be getting back to what I want out of Red Hood, which is I want him doing stuff that would piss off Batman if he knew about it. Whether or not he knows about it doesn't matter. He's going to find out. Like Batman always finds out. Jason knows that. So I'm very, and here's another thing. All he's taking with him is his costume, his bike, and a metal briefcase containing 2 handguns and lots of bullets. I like that as well. Because with Jason Todd, he's supposed to be unhinged. He's supposed to have that moment of like, he could go, lose his cool any second on a bad guy. That is what he does. He does the thing that Batman won't do. That's part of what makes him compelling as a character. And that's not been the case for him for a bit. So I'm like, those 2 first lines alone, very promising for me. And I will say, this is one where I may not be as good when it comes to my expectations. I may get them a little too high in this. Like I get like this with him now, and I get like that with Gambit. But those are like those are like the only 2 characters I feel like maybe Constantine as well. But these 2 guys I get like that big time.
I'm tempering my expectations big time. Like I'm very excited, right? But this sort of goes to the thing. Don't judge a book by its cover, right? This is a creative team that I have no knowledge of.
This
right?
is a very fair point.
So it's either gonna knock my socks off or it's just not gonna be for me, right? Like I don't know if there's gonna be a middle ground here, and I'm trying not to like go in and being like you having these sky high expectations because there's a lot of unknown here, right? And outside of the brief little thing that Zdarsky's done, and honestly, what Lemire has just done with Robin and Batman, Jason Todd, in that brief little miniseries there, DC has really kind of screwed up Red Hood. And I know when we had Scott Snyder on, he said there is an initiative from DC. They want to elevate Red Hood, right? They want to make him a lot more prominent. And I'm very hopeful that this will be the start of that, but I don't know what to expect. So I'm not going to go in because I don't want to unfairly judge, Gretchen and Jeffrey if they don't meet expectations that I set that are ludicrously too high, if that makes sense.
I'm honestly not sure when he told us that. I'm honest. What? I know he told us that. us that. I'm not sure when he told us that. Did you catch my drift?
He told us that when the spoiler.
That's not what I mean. It doesn't matter.
Okay. Get me afterwards.
Okay. Image and Skybound, what do you got for me for the week of the 10th?
Okay. We have Transformers issue 24, which is closing in on Daniel Warren Johnson's run on this
series. Yeah. But we're getting Kirkman in Mora, which is crazy.
Yeah, which is wild. Spawn issue 368, Radiant Black issue 37, Red Coat issue 14, King Spawn issue 49, Feral issue 16, Blood and Thunder, issue 5, Farmhand, issue 25, The Unchosen, issue
Oof.
3, Free Planet, issue 5, and Blood Squad 7, issue 10.
From Boom, we got Hello Darkness, My Old Friend, issue 14, Power Rangers Prime, issue 10, Bronze Faces, issue 5, and The Last Witch, Blood and Betrayal, issue 3.
Okay, from Dark Horse, we have Hellboy in Love, The Art of Fire, issue 2. And then we have a couple of number ones here. We have Powers 25, issue 1. This, of course, written by Brian Michael Bendis with art by Michael Avon Omig. We have Nocturnals, The Sinister Path, issue 1, written by Dan Barrington, with art by Lois Wallace. And we have Star Wars Tales from the Nightlands, issue 1, written by Kevin Scott with art by Sue Lee.
Those two, Dan Brereton and Lewis
Lois.
Wallace, like the subtle, like difficult names to say. Like that was
Wild.
yeah.
Lois Wallace. Like,
Yeah.
come on.
That one kind of caught me off guard there.
Yeah.
We do have some Mad Cave books we want to talk about, so I'm going to take us through these next few. Oni, we got Blood Type issue 4, Rick and Morty versus the Universe, Beth Till Death issue 1 by Jake Black and Daniel Kibblesmith. From IDW, we got Godzilla issue 2, Star Trek Lower Decks issue 11, Godzilla Here There Be Aliens issue 4. From Distillery, we got The City Beneath Her Feet issue 1 by James Tynan IV and Elsa Chartier. From Dynamite, thank you, we have Thundercats issue 18, Space Ghost issue 2, Vampirella issue 5, Zootopia issue 6, and The Blue Falcon and Dynamite issue 1 by Jimmy Palmiotti and Pasquale Qualino. I missed this. Dynamite's coming back too. Holy shit. Wow.
Dynamite.
Yeah.
Dynamite.
Wow.
Yeah. From Med Cave, we have Gotchaman, issue 12. Don't Forget Your Briefcase, issue 3, which is a wild series.
Yeah.
And then we have two number ones. We have Racer X, issue 1, written by Mark Russell with art by Nuno Plati. And a book that I'm looking forward to both of these, but really looking forward to It Killed Everyone But Me, issue 1, written by Ryan Parrott with art by Letizia Condici. In the summer of 1996, I was but a mere freshman in high school. Sutton Reed had it all: a popular teenage girl with amazing friends, a loving family, and a bright future. But it all came crashing down over one mysterious weekend that saw her friends brutally murdered and left Sutton as the sole survivor of the legendary Riverton Massacre. Now, 3 decades later, the death and disappearance of 2 local teens strike the Riverton community again, forcing Sutton, now a divorced single mother, to face the truth she tried so desperately to hide. Because to catch one killer, she'll have to dig up the real monster she buried away all those years ago. So good, Nicholas.
Yeah.
So good.
That's a great synopsis. The first issue also outstanding, and there's so much else that's happening there that we like isn't even touched in this synopsis. I'm such a good first issue. Very excited for Racer X issue 1 by Mark Russell and Nuno Plati as well. Like, again, this is going to be another awesome week for Mad Cave because we're not reading Gotchaman, but Don't Forget Your Briefcase. We are reading that. So, they put out, it seems like 5 is probably their average. Maybe 4 is like their average because some weeks are a little lighter, some are a little heavier. But man, if they don't have if half the week we're not, like half of the books that are dropping for them, we're not reading, I'm surprised. I don't feel like that's happened really for us, at least in a long while. Just another awesome week for them.
Yeah, Mad Cave's killing it.
Yeah.
Surprise, right?
Yeah, it is impressive. The run they're on is a sight to behold. All right, moving over to week 3 in September. That is New Comic Book Day will be September 17th. What do we got from Marvel?
From Marvel, the week of September 17th, 2025, the year of our year, Nicholas, we have The Ultimates, issue 16.
I love that.
Uncanny X-Men, issue 21. The Amazing Spider-Man, issue 12. Ultimate Black Panther, issue 20. Fantastic Four, issue 3. Miles Morales, Spider-Man, issue 38. Magic, issue 10. The Incredible Hulk, issue 29. Phoenix, issue 15. Deadpool Wolverine, issue 9. The New Avengers, issue 4. Predator Kills the Marvel Universe issue 2. Nicholas, did you go back and read the first issue?
I have not yet. No, because I haven't read. Because I have the ability to. I'm gonna go back and read Spider-Man first. So I may be behind on this. Yeah.
Wicked smart. Do it. It's a long weekend. I know something happened this upcoming weekend that might be some of importance to you, but you got time. Read it.
Yeah, yeah. There's always time to read. In my house, there's always time to read. So yeah.
Star Wars issue 5, Runaways issue 4, Uncle Scrooge, Earth's Mightiest Duck issue 2, and then we have the beginnings of some crossover events. But first, we have Star Wars, Boba Fett, Boba Fett's getting the fucking black, white, and red. Jesus Christ! It's done by Benjamin Percy though, so I'll allow it. Star Wars, Boba Fett, black, white, and red issue 1, written by Benjamin Percy with art by Chris Allen. We have Marvel Zombies, Red Band, issue 1, written by Nicholas, not Ethan Sheridan or Griffin Parker, but Ethan S. Parker and Griffin Sheridan, with art by Jan Balzuda.
Okay. We need to. Yes, I'm very excited for this.
Balzuda. I cannot pronounce that.
Basil Dua.
There we go.
That was a hard one, but I actually it was so clear to me for some reason. It happens. But yes, very excited to check this out. Like Ethan S. Parker and Griffin Sheridan, we talk about them a ton. We've had them on the show a ton. Like they do an outstanding job. Great year for them. So much stuff coming out after the success of Kill Your Darlings. When we have them on next show, whenever that is, I need you in your intro to say Ethan Sheridan and Griffin S. Parker. Like I need whatever the variation, where you want to throw the S, I don't care. But like you need to do that and see if they catch it. I that's more than anything. I want to know if what the fuck? I want to know if it just slips by them or not. And our listeners will be on the joke. They'll know. But yeah,
they'll know. Yeah, well, yeah, I can do that. I might do that inadvertently. It's a good chance.
I'll be on my toes for you, but I'm You'll be really funny is if you try to do it and then you get their names right.
Right.
And it's like, oh fuck.
Oh, I'll make up initials. Ethan, Griffin Q Sheridan or Griffin Q Parker. Right. I'll just completely make names.
We just took a stab at it, Griffin.
As long as I say a name, it's better than not saying any names at all. But we also have Marvel, DC, Deadpool, Batman, issue 1, written by Zeb Wells with art by Greg Capullo.
Yeah, dude, this is gonna be crazy. This is the start of the crossover stuff because then I believe it's I don't know if it's the next month or if it's November, but then we're also gonna get Batman Deadpool, which is going to be coming from DC, and that's going to be by Grant Morrison. And is it Dan Mora who's doing the art? I'm blanking on who the artist is.
I think so.
I think it's Dan. So basically, you have two of the best, artists in comics going right now doing these two titles. And obviously, I'm excited about the writers, but that says a lot to me that you're making a priority to have Capullo and Mora being the artists on this series. But I'm very excited to check this out. Something to note for everybody: there are going to be backups in these two issues that we're going to get, and I think we're getting more beyond these single issues as well. But we're going to get Daredevil and Green Arrow teaming up, which is by Kevin Smith. Kevin Smith and Adam Kubert is the artist. Captain America and Wonder Woman by Chip Zdarsky and Terry Dodson. And then Jeff, the Land Shark, and Crypto by Kelly Thompson and Guhuri. You said
Hero.
Yeah, you definitely said it better than I did. So yeah, I look, the Jeff the Land Shark stuff's not necessarily for Joe and I, but I'm excited to check out that other shit, man. And we know we're getting Snyder and Tynan and Williamson doing a Constantine and Snyder story, which is going to be Constantine and Doctor Strange story. Excuse me, Dr. Snyder. Very excited. I'm very excited for the whole crossover event.
Yeah, it should be a lot of fun.
All right, moving over to DC. We got Absolute Flash issue 7, Nightwing issue 130, Batman Superman World's Finest issue 43, Wonder Woman issue 25, Batman and Robin Year 1 issue 11, Titans issue 27, The New Gods issue 10, New History of the DC Universe issue 3, Catwoman issue 79, Crypto, The Last Dog of Krypton issue 4. That's not for you. Why are you like it's for kids?
I know. I'm just get Crypto out of my face. That's all.
It's not in your face. It's for your kid.
And I'm a dog guy. Just out of my face.
Justice League. What?
Even Violet's like, yeah.
Oh, there you go. Okay. Justice League Red issue 2. And then the number one we got this week from DC, The Batman, Second Night issue 1. This is by Dan Jurgens and Mike Perkins. I feel like Dan's been doing some stuff that's turned back the clock with Batman. This story, for those who want to check it out, is going to be set in 1940. So if you're into that.
Yeah. From Image and Skybound, we have Invincible Universe, Battle Beast, issue 5, G.I. Joe, issue 11. The heat's turning up in that series, by the way, folks. I did it. It was my gem of the week last week. Excellent. Excellent. Peep that on Instagram and TikTok. Exquisite Corpses, issue 5. Oh, gimme. The Walking Dead Deluxe, issue 121. The Seasons, issue 8. I Hate Fairyland, issue 44. Ghost Pepper, issue 3. Deadly Tales of the Gunslinger Spawn, issue 9. This Ends Tonight, issue 3. Witchblade, issue 14. The Curse of Charlie Johnson, issue 3. Blood Letter, issue 4. The Cold Witch, A Tale of the Shredded College, issue 5. Dark Honor, issue 5. And here we go. Okay. A whole bunch of number ones. We have Good is Dead, issue 1. This is a Skybound title, written by Maria and Dan Lampham, with art by Dan Lampham. We have No Man's Land, issue 1, written and drawn by Simon Kudransky. And we have Creep Show, issue 1, also a Skybound title, written by Jeremy Adams, with art by Eduardo Risso.
Yep. And then moving over to Boom, we got Blink and You'll Miss It, issue 2. We love this first issue. Speaking of Ethan S. Parker and Griffin Sheridan, cannot wait to check out issue 2. The Killer Affairs of the State, Volume 2, Issue 4. And then we got The Last Day of H.P. Lovecraft, Issue 1 by Romuald Gulivo and Jakob Rebelka, who we've talked about quite a bit. On what's his Boom title that he was illustrating? I cannot remember. It was The Possession. Lay My Vengeance Upon Thee?
Yes. When I Lay My Vengeance Upon Thee. Yep. Such a great art style.
And then The Expanse, A Little Death. Just a Little Death, issue 1, written by Andy Diggle and Wes Chatham, with art by Francesco Pisa.
From Dark Horse, we have Magic the Gathering Untold Stories, Elspeth, issue 1, written by Dan Waters, and art by Owen Gianni. And yep, that is it.
Yep. Moving over to Mad Cave, we got Dick Tracy, issue 12, The Slasher's Apprentice, issue 5, Buried Long Ago, issue 5, Whatever Happened to the Crimson Justice, issue 4, Orla, issue 2, and then we got a first issue, Flow, which is written by Paula Sevenbergen, with art by Claudia Balbellini, which I'm going to be checking this one out. This definitely has a different slant, but I'm very curious to experience it. When the blood began to run down Darla Lund's legs at nature camp, she thought she was dying. Homeschooled homeschooled by a protective dad after her mom's mysterious death, Dara wasn't told the facts of life. It's the curse, her bunkmate said, not revealing it was her period. But we can lift it if you do everything we say. So began their week of torment, making naive Dara do torturous tasks for their amusement. But now, 10 years later, as they embark on their careers, the three tormentors find themselves cursed. So they reunite to track down the likely source, a vengeful Dara, and they'll pursue her to the bloody end.
Yeah, have fun with that.
I will. I absolutely will.
Yeah. Go nuts. Oh, shit, I'm not ready for 300, Alex. From Oni Press, we have Catacomb of Torment, issue 3. Cemetery Kids Run Rabbit, issue 2. And then we have Wild West COW, Boys of Moo Mesa, issue 1, written by Matt Hodson, with art by Juan Gideon.
I think Gideon's probably right. Yeah, and that's like those were action figures from way back too. I'd never personally heard of those.
Nope.
But anyways, from AWA we got They Chose Violence, issue 4. From IDW we got Godzilla Escape the Dead Zone, issue 1. That is also Ethan S. Parker and Griffin Sheridan. Monster High House
Q Sheridan.
Issue 2. Then we got Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles Casey Jones, issue 1, written by Alex Packnadel, with art by Amante Nahulpan. And I'll tell you what, I was most stunned by. I'm very excited to check this out. First Casey solo miniseries in over 30 years. I had
What?
no idea. Yeah. That was part of their whole promo stuff. And then you look over to Street Sharks. This is less surprising. Street Sharks issue 1. This is going to be a 5-issue series. Stephanie Williams, Ariel, Metal. This is the first Street Sharks comics in over 20 years. Now, again, less surprising because we haven't seen a lot of Street Sharks in a while. But still, like, wow, this is like a turning back the clock. We're getting a lot of that, but still surprising. And then we're also getting My Little Pony, the Sweetest Collection, issue 1. This is by various writers and artists.
All right, I'll take us through. I'll take us through Titan. We have Blade Runner, Black Lotus, Las Vegas, issue 1, written by Nancy Collins and art by Jesus Hervath. I'm gonna keep the ball rolling here, Nicholas.
Yeah, take us into Marvel too.
From Dynamite, we have Captain Planet and the Planeteers, issue 5, DuckTales, issue 7, The Herculoids, issue 8, and Vampirella Armageddon, issue 3. And then lastly, week 4, September 24th, 2025, the year of our year, we have Ultimate Spider-Man, issue 21, X-Men, issue 22. Again, with caution, the Ultimate Spider-Man series, this may or may not be accurate. X-Men issue 22, Daredevil issue 25, Death of the Silver Surfer issue 4, Storm issue 12, Spider-Man and Wolverine issue 5, Black Cat issue 2, The Mortal Thor issue 2, Emma Frost, The White Queen issue 4, Godzilla Destroys the Marvel Universe issue 3, MJF and the Land Shark issue 4, The Thing issue 5, The Vision and the Scarlet Witch issue 5, All New Spider-Gwen Ghost Spider issue 2, Venom Black, White, and Blood issue 2, Predator Black, White, and Blood issue 3, Dr. Aphra Chaos Agent issue 4, Spider-Girl issue 4, Ultimate Spider-Man Infinity Comic issue 21. And if that wasn't enough, we have Battle World issue 1 written by Christos Gage with art by Marcus Toe, and Ultimate Hawkeye issue 1 written by Dennis Camp, Taboo, and B. Earl with art by Juan Frigeri and Michael Stay. Is it Saint Marie? I'm assuming that's Saint Marie and not Station Marie.
I think it's Saint Maria. Yeah.
Yeah. All right.
But yeah, I'm excited to check out Ultimate Hawkeye issue 1. That
100%. 100%.
Definitely got to give that one a look. From DC in the week of the 24th, we got Absolute Wonder Woman issue 12, Detective Comics issue 1101, Superman issue 30, Justice League Unlimited issue 11, Green Lantern issue 27, Green Arrow issue 28, The Flash issue 25, Superman Unlimited issue 5, Harley Quinn issue 54, Immortal Legend Batman issue 2, Mr. Terrific Year 1 issue 5, and DC versus Vampires World War V issue 12.
From Image and Skybound, we have Void Rivals, the Michael Jordan issue 23. We have Geiger issue 18, Gunslinger Spawn issue 47. I saw it on Hyde Street. I did, and it was terrifying. Hyde Street issue 9, Monstrous issue 60, The Scorched issue 45, the Pedro Martinez issue, Undiscovered Country issue 33, the Jason Veritek issue, News from the Fallout issue 4, Escape issue 2, Universal Monsters, The Invisible Man issue 2, Falling in Love on the Path to Hell issue 10, Red City issue 18, Hornsby and Halo issue 10, Kaya issue 30, Black Ritual, The Book of Nyx issue 5, Dust to Dust issue 7, Lazarus Fallen issue 4, Sleep issue 5, The Voice Said Kill issue 3, Get a Naked Aggression issue 4, Dead Eyes, The Empty Frames issue 4, Drawing Blood issue 9, I Tyrant issue 3. I'd almost never say this, but Image, fucking spread it out a smidge, will you?
Dude, and there's a lot of issue 1s this week. I'm almost like, this can't be right.
Yeah, I got a feeling that this is going to get broken up a bit, to be honest with you.
I'm stunned by that. That's just, and then you have like 3 issue 1s and an issue 0.
Yeah. So we have Gray Lady, issue 1, written by Mike Benson and Adam Glass with art by Ken Lashley. We have Viking Moon, issue 1, written by Joe Pruitt with art by Marcelo Frusen. And then we have Skinbreaker, issue 1, Robert Kirkman, David Finch, and we have The Department of Truth, issue 0, written by Scott Snyder with art by Joshua Hickson. I am admittedly behind on Department of Truth because it took a turn that, quite frankly, I get enough of that bullshit in my everyday life. I do not want to read it in my comic books. And once I saw that person pop up, I said, I'm done. I gotta I gotta wait for this arc to pass.
And this is on my. I found this out later, and I should have updated the notes. Scott and Joshua Hickson are doing the backup stuff, and that's the Elvis stuff that we've kind of been seeing circulating on social media. Very excited for that. Tynan is still very much doing the main story, and it's going to be delving into. It's something I'm very, very interested in. It's like this new character that's kind of like, is it Cole that was the main character? Like his kind of opposite. And this guy's coming up more in like the modern conspiracy era. So like there's going to be issues with that. I'm very excited for that. I'm very excited for Skinbreaker issue 1. I mean, I've been hearing nothing but crazy good things about the art that David Finch has put together for the series. Obviously he's amazing, but like I cannot wait to check this out for the art alone. All right. Moving over to Boom, we got Mighty Morphin Power Rangers, Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, Volume 3, Issue 2, and The Power of the Blood, Issue 5. From Dark Horse, we got Quick Stops, Volume 3, Issue 2, Critical Role, Vox Machina Origins, Volume 1, Issue 4, Archie versus Minor Threats, Issue 2, and then a couple number 1s from Dark Horse. We got He-Man and the Masters of the Universe, The Sword of Flaws, Issue 1, Tim Seeley and Freddie E. Williams. You gonna be checking that one out? You're muted.
God damn it! I've been rewatching the cartoons. I'm 100%.
Oh, the old cartoons or the modern ones?
The modern ones.
Oh, okay, the modern ones.
The old cartoons are a tough rewatch. But the modern ones are fantastic.
I never saw them. I love the modern ones. I was really blown away by that because I was never a He-Man guy. Like just never. But I didn't watch the cartoons. So, anyways,
it was also 10 years before your time.
Yeah, but I mean, some of these things still popped up for me and still like remained relevant. Anyways, like honestly, we talk about not watching Speed Racer. I watched Speed Racer as a kid. That's older than both of us. I think it's older than my dad, technically.
I never watched Speed Racer.
Then we got Orphan and the Five Beasts, Bath of the Blood, Issue 1. This is written and drawn by James Stacco.
All right, from Med Cave, we have The Pale Knight, Issue 5. Far down below, Issue 5. Wild Animals, Issue 3. Endless Night, Issue 4. Blue Palo Verde, Issue 4. Red Vector, Issue 2. And then we have 2 number 1s. We have Hero Bear and the Kid, LCSD 2025, special Issue 1, written and drawn by Mike Kunkel. And we have The Phantom, Issue 1, written by Ray Fox, with art by Russell Olson.
And moving over to Oni, we got Biker Mice from Mars, Issue 4. Rick and Morty versus the Universe, Issue 3. And then the Sixth Gun Battle for the Six. Excuse me, I'm going to keep adding that at the end there. Issue 3. I believe that's the end of that miniseries as well.
All right, from IDW, we have Beneath the Trees Where Nobody Sees, Rite of Spring, Issue 3. TMNT Saturday Morning Adventures, Issue 29. Monster High World Scare, Issue 2. See what they did there? Play on words. And then we have a couple of number 1s here. We have The Twilight Zone, Issue 1, written by Dan Waters with art by Morgan Beam. Dan's a busy little beaver.
And this is an anthology series. So I'm there. Like this is going to be something that I was worth checking out for everybody too.
100%. And then we have Star Trek: The Last Starship, Issue 1, written by Jackson Lansing and Colin Kelly? With art by Adrian Bonilla.
Moving over to Vault and Titan. Vault, we got Post Malone's Big Rig, Issue 3. And then from Titan, we got more Conan. Conan, Scourge of the Serpent, Issue 1, written by Jim Zub, with art by Ivan Gill.
And then to wrap things up, Nicholas, right? And to keep this a nice, tight solicit, from Dynamite, we have Gargoyles Demona, Issue 4. Sonia Reborn, Issue 2. And then Vampirella Halloween Horror, Issue 1, written by Liam Johnson, with art by Jordan Michael Johnson.
Yes, sir. That is how it's done, ladies and gentlemen.
That's how we do it.
And all right, so we are again just doing what's new, but again, always make sure you subscribe to one of our audio channels because you never know when a Friarside chat's going to pop up, because we never know when a Friarside chat is going to pop up. Otherwise, Joe, until next week,
keep reading, baby. Woo! Yeah.